The other topic that we want to talk about tonight about the development activity in the city of Galion is the Port Authority City Loan Program. And by mid-afternoon, the applications, this would have been the first day that applications for this locally city-funded and Port Authority administered program have been available. And by mid-afternoon, we had received 3 applications here in the office. So I don't know what our expectations were. We were sitting here anxious this morning. Maybe we had this idea that there'd be people lined up like people lining up to get a haircut, but then it didn't. It wasn't that big of activity. But I wanted to come on tonight and reinforce what the loan program's about. And so I want to take a couple of minutes and have Chad Miller, I guess first Gary Frankhouse and Chad Miller, both Port Authority board members, talk a little bit about the loan program. I'll come back after that and offer some other ideas or some other comments on the loan program. It's a pretty slick opportunity for Galion businesses. So let's try our technological limits here.
Hello, my name is Gary Frankhouse. I'm the Vice Chair for the Galion Port Authority, and I have with me today Mr. Chad Miller, our Secretary for the Port Authority. Wanted to introduce the port first of all, for those of you that aren't aware. It's a tool locally for the City of Galion and really for the region to be able to enhance business, help businesses grow, expand, or even open up new doors. And we have started a program here actually today, June 1st. It's going to go through the end of the week, which is a loan program. We've all recognized what's happened in the last 3 months, and we know it's important to reach out to business. As a business owner in Galion, I know how important it is for businesses to succeed, to be able to keep people employed. Creating the port was a real initiative that was important to all of us because of the things that it can do long term. And this is just the first example of how we want to reach out to all of you. And I'm going to let Chad explain a little bit more about what the application is, what the program is, and we encourage you. It's a really simple process. Having owned a business, having applied for the PPP, it's even simpler than that.
All this week from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we are going to be at the city building here in Galion to accept applications for the loan program. We are super excited to be part of this. We are pleased that the city reached out to us to help us administer the program. The application is very simple. It is available on the city's website. You can download it there. You can even fill it in there. Additionally, you can stop by the city building and pick up a copy of the application. Again, it's a very simple application, just collects very basic information about the business and its owners. It does have a few small pieces of documentation that need to be turned in with it. But Gary and I are the loan committee for all of the decisions regarding this program. It's an exciting tool to be able to help all the small businesses here in town with any expenses that might be related to either the shutdown or restarting as a result of the COVID-19. A couple of details on the program. Loan amounts are available up to $5,000. They carry a 0% interest rate for 12 months. All payments can be deferred until maturity. If you prefer to make payments during the term, you can, but you're not required to make any payment until the loan matures. Again, there's absolutely zero interest charge. There's zero cost to the borrower. So if you have any questions, we really strongly encourage you to reach out to us. A copy of our contact information is in a flyer that's also on the city's website. And again, we'll be up at the city building from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day this week.
Okay. Really appreciate Mr. Miller and Mr. Frankhouse taking the time to explain a little bit greater detail what the loan program's designed to do. You always have to thank a bunch of people. Today, the Chamber of Commerce director and I believe other staff went throughout the uptown area and among as many of the commercial businesses, which we think are kind of a target of this effort, to let them know about the program and emphasize how easy it is to apply and move forward. A couple of things I want to mention. I'm not quite sure exactly what Chad and Gary said, but there's no fee. It's not, we didn't, the banks have a certain way of operating, a need to operate. that I think is certainly appropriate, but we're going to go with no fees. The Port Authority will be compensated for administering the program, so there's no obligation to apply. Second thing is, I believe this was probably mentioned, it had to be an existing business in existence in the city of Galion. That makes sense. But one of the things that had been observed to me, people had questions, businesses had questions. This is not simply a payroll program where we're going to use city money to give you an interest-free loan to pay payroll. In fact, I think this is really much better understood as a way to create jobs by enabling you to restock inventory, make PPP improvements. I know one restaurant in town that's kind of crowded decided to put up plexiglass separation to be able to maintain as many people in their restaurant as possible. So it's those sorts of things. It's reordering inventory. It's in some cases perhaps getting caught up on utility bills. Not necessarily just the city folks, but the cable and those kinds of bills that are really essential in this day and age. So it's not necessarily, in fact, we really don't expect it to be a payroll support program, but heck, if a business wants to do that, it's fine. A couple other quick comments. The limit was set at 5,000. It didn't just fall out of the sky. It really came from conversation with a half dozen or so businesses and their reaction to what would be a maximum amount in order to hit that balance between enough to have an impact in some of our small businesses, but not have it a program that's dominated by 2 or 3 or 4 businesses. Even though they have great need, we're really hoping to make it available to the maximum number of businesses. And I think by mid-afternoon, 3 applications, a good start. And what we're going to try to do is to get the word out again tonight, use the video that we have of the Port Authority members. And once again, I would say the Inquirer on this topic, the Inquirer did run an article about this, but heck, there's only so much that Russ can do. And this is a good topic, and getting it out in as many venues, as many mediums as possible is really what we're trying to do tonight.